Now we'll move on to the salient features. Specifically, now it is on code on wages. Now I'm in slide number 13. So specific to code on wages. So it provides for all essential elements relating to wages, remuneration, its payment and bonus. So again, the current payment of wages, minimum wages, equal remuneration and payment of bonus, all these provisions are included in this particular code that we discussed again. The provisions relating to wages shall be applicable to all employments covering both organized as well as unorganized sectors. So currently, unorganized sectors are not included, right? This is applicable only for organized sector. Now, I think through this code, unorganized sectors and unorganized workers are also brought inside the scope of these labor legislations, like the home-based workers, wage workers, self-employed workers, right? They actually, many of this, as per the statistics, roughly there are 50 crore workers. Out of the 50 crore workers, only 10% are in organized employment. And whatever set of labor legislations we talk about, it is more applicable to organized sector only, right? So almost for 44 to 45 crore people, it is not applicable. But now attempt is made through these codes to make this applicable to unorganized sectors as well as the unorganized workers. And the power to fix minimum wages continues to be vested in the central government as well as the state. Of course, the appropriate government could either be central government or the respective state government. So already, as per the current provision, the powers are vested with these appropriate governments for fixed minimum rates of wages. That will continue in the code also. It provides for floor wages for different geographical areas, so as to ensure that no state government fixes the minimum wage below the floor wage notified in that area by the central government. Again, currently also we have a concept called national floor level minimum wage. Of course, it does not have statutory force, right? But as a practice, if for some industry the minimum wages act is not applicable, they are referring to this national floor level minimum wage and they are paying that wage. But of course, it is not again a mandate. Government was actually mulling for quite a long time to give statutory force to this concept. That is the reason I think they are now bringing it in this code. Now, the central government will fix the floor wage. Again, the floor wage need not necessarily be uniform single number. It could vary from geography to geography. That is also possible. So once this floor wage is fixed, subsequently when the appropriate government fixes the minimum rates of wages, they have to ensure that the minimum rate does not go below the floor wage. So thus this floor wage concept will have statutory force once this comes into force. And the provisions relating to timely payment of wages and authorized deductions from wage shall be made applicable to all employees irrespective of wage ceiling. Currently, if you go through the provisions of the Payment of Wages Act, particularly section 1(6), the provisions of the act will not be applicable to those people who are drawing more than rupees 24,000 per month as salary, right? That salary ceiling is now getting removed, which means the Payment of Wages Act will be applicable to all the employees irrespective of the wage they are drawing. So this salary ceiling will not be available once this code on wages it comes into force. And of course, naturally, the timely payment, whatever time which is applicable to other people who are drawing less than 24,000 per month, or the authorized deduction, all those provisions will be applicable to all the employees across the company. And it provides that the wages of employees may also be paid by check or through digital or electronic mode. This is, I think everybody knows this. You can also pay by cash, but in addition, you can do it through check or digital or electronic mode. That is possible now.